Whoa, rising in the rising sun, the land of
It's Among Us. Today, what's going on? I just want to remind everybody we have a new Patreon where you can come and support us and make sure that we keep this ad-free. Sorry for the day lateness on this podcast. Want to make sure I still got it up. Today, in the next couple of days, we're actually going to be talking about a fairly interesting topic, in my opinion, one of the most difficult topics. And because of how difficult it was, I actually had to ask a couple of PhDs and also a native speaker to make sure I got all of this content right. I'm getting really complicated subjects, and one of these subjects is what's called loanwords or GaiRaiGo. Now, there are a number of different GaiRaiGo, and the first one we're going to talk about today are what are basically considered kakikotoba, or words that are specifically written down. Now, katakana words are very interesting in the fact that usually they are taken from foreign languages. You know, they're taken from all the different things that we do. Basically, a lot of these words have come from the English or French or German vocabulary and slowly kind of shifted into the Japanese vocabulary. A good example of this would be something like ice cream. Ice cream is ice cream, and since they didn't have that word natively, they took that word and adapted it. So we have that idea, ice cream, and it slowly changed, and it became more of a native thing for Japanese people to say. Well, that didn't just count for normal words. Things got shortened, things got changed, and things were adjusted to the Japanese language to make it effective. And one of those were kakikotoba, or words that were simply taken and pronounced the way they were written. A great example of this would be a word like my name. So my name is John, and it's said like that, John. If you were to put it phonetically, you might think, it's a ja sound, ja, John. However, that is not the case. John is in fact pronounced John. John. It's the yo sound because it's written O-H-N. If someone's writing it without an H, that's just wrong. Guys, let's pick it up here a little bit. So we have John. On that same topic, however, we have words that were written one way and then put phonetically. Those are the other type of GaiRaiGo. Words that usually were not shortened. But we see this in like... For example, ice cream is written phonetically. It's just the words, or system. System is just system, right? System. But there are some words that are simply written and pronounced the way they were, written down. Sandwich would be an example of this. Sandwich or sandoichi is the way this is pronounced. Now, there are a couple of weird things that, again, happen with GaiRaiGo because we're taking it from other languages. These are particularly words that are usually become adjectives, and we'll talk about that the day after tomorrow. I want to kind of do this in order. But when you see a katakana word, it's important that you be able to pronounce that word not like your native language. So one of my pet peeves is when someone says a word in Japanese that is from their native language like they would say it in their native language. For example, if I wanted to say something like, kono ice cream ga oishii desu ne. It's not kono ice cream, it's kono ice cream. Ice cream is oishii. So we want to make sure we pronounce it like that. And this is for a very simple reason. Remember when we're speaking a foreign language that we're trying to make the person that is listening feel comfortable with what we are saying. So if we're simply saying things to try to feel comfortable ourselves because we know ice cream is ice cream, not ice cream or sandwich or system or what have you, then we're not making them feel comfortable, making ourselves feel comfortable. We want to make them feel the most comfortable. So my advice for you to be able to, when you're trying to go over GaiRaiGo and some of these other words, I would definitely check out how to pronounce it, look at the katakana, and then say it like it would be pronounced in their language, not ours, okay? And that counts for words that may not be in your native language. For example, the word for pants in Japanese, zubon. I don't know how to say it in French, but I still pronounce zubon, zubon. In Japanese for pants. Okay. With that, though, I will check this and end this episode here. I will catch you tomorrow, where we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about what happens when these become adjectives. Okay. Until tomorrow, remember to make mistakes. Ja ne.